everybody, it's 13th Wolfman. That's right. You know what today is? Today is day 12 of the 31 days of horror. 31 movies, 31 days, 31 reviews, 31 videos, and hopefully 31 comments. That's right. Now, let's get a little loopy. What do I have going for you today? Well, we'll talk about that in a minute, but first I need you to like, subscribe, share, and comment. When you like and subscribe, that gets my stuff out to other people that you may know that might want to watch this stuff. When you comment, I just want to know what you have to say. That's the important thing. I mean, do you like the movie? Do you not like the movie? Did you hate it? There's movies I can't stand, and when someone says something, you know, like, oh, someone brings up watching a certain movie, I'll be like, you know what? I'm glad you like it, but this is a movie I just could not get into. Like, I never could get into the Paranormal Activity movies. I know Brother Max likes them. I know a few other people that really, really like these movies. Just not my flavor. That's all I got to say. And that's kind of like how today's going to unfold. So, again, before we get into it, check out some other people. Check out the one and only MSJ, I Am the Ice Lord, Random Horror, Retro Horror, Hobbs Horror, what's his name? Have Cheetah Will View, Jennifer Toshi, who else has got it going on? King Gore, Echo, Double Shot J, Mood 616. I mean, the list just keeps getting longer. Now let's talk about today's movie. I know for a fact two people that I know and respect did not like this movie. And this is I watched it. This was my first viewing of this movie. I actually dug it. And I get it, man. I can understand why you might not like it. But I actually kind of dug this movie. It's Evil Dead Rise. Now, I know for a fact Brother Max hated the fact that they took the book out of the woods, you know, a cabin in the woods type of setting, and they put it in a building in the city. I actually like that. Sorry, Brother Max, but I like that. We've seen the cabin in the woods story a few times already. And the fact that they moved it from that location to the concrete jungle, I like that. The other thing I like is that they explain why the book looks different. There's three volumes of this book. The book we see in the first movie, the book we see in the remake, and this one. This one is very sinister looking. I love the little teeth lock thing on the side. Man, they really went out of their way. But it's the Book of the Dead. They don't call it the Necronomicon in this one. They give it a funky Latin name, you know. I honestly cannot tell you what it is, but yeah, so the story unfolds like this. We have Beth. Beth is a guitar tech for a band who is going around, and basically she's setting up the guitars for, well, a band. There, I already said the same thing twice. Redundant. And while on tour, she lands in the same city that her sister's in, and she takes a pregnancy test. Yep, she's knocked up. She goes to visit her sister and her 3 kids. Her sister's 3 kids. They live in a building that used to be a bank. I thought this was cool. So there's a big earthquake. The teenage son is teenage son is like, oh, I'm a DJ. I'm gonna scratch and mix records and blah blah. You know, the teenage daughter is she's the hippie of the group. She's the no nukes, anti-nuke, type of person. And then they got like I'd say she's probably like 8 years old, 8 or 9 year old daughter, who's still, into that motherly, worldly world, Earthquake happens while they're out getting pizza, and the sun sees this hole, goes down into it. It turns out it's the bank vault, and in this bank vault he found a record, this old record. He's like, oh, cool. Of course, thinking, oh, I'm a DJ. Hey, I might find something really cool on here. And as he's also looking through the vault, which is abandoned, he sees this book. Now, here's the thing. It looks like it's encased in an altar, in a bank, with like 1,000 crosses over it, keeping the evil in. Again, this is like the barbed wire thing from the remake. Dude, if you see something like that, you don't mess with it. I'm not trying to be, overly religious, but you don't mess with it. But he sees this book, and he opens it up, and he doesn't open the book up. He opens up the tapestry, the burlap sack that is covering it. And he sees it, and he's like, oh, that's kind of cool. Grabs it, and he can't get it open. He accidentally bleeds a little bit on it. It opens the magic lock, and bad things start to happen. I really thought that this was a cool idea, that we take it out of the cabin in the woods to the urban setting. Again, I know a lot of people. My buddy over in Sweden does not like this movie. Doesn't like it one bit. He thinks this is like the worst of the worst. Okay. But for some reason, man, this story sucked me in, got my juices flowing, and for 96 minutes, I was engulfed in it. And that's what I really like. There's times I'll watch a horror movie and I'm like, okay, I'll pick up the remote and I'll go, how much longer? Oh, I still got like 30 minutes. Okay. Not in this case. This one, I just kind of like I said, just got me sucked into it. Got sucked into the entire story. I wanted to see who's going to live, who's going to die. I thought the backstory was really cool. There's even more to the beginning. At the very beginning, they start out at a lake, and that comes up later in the movie. So I like the wraparound, to this. But the one thing I do hate when it comes to movies and TV shows, and it's becoming too much of a trend. We need to get off this. This whole 1 day earlier, 1 week earlier, 15 hours earlier staple, where you get into the movie, and you're like into it for like 10 minutes, all of a sudden they're like, and 24 hours earlier, and you're just kind of like, what the hell, dude? If you wanted to tell a story, tell it from the beginning. Don't just throw back. I mean, that does happen in this movie, and it's one of the things that kind of bugs me, but, what can I do? I'm just me. No, but yeah, that does happen. They start out at the lake, and then they say, a day earlier, and then we see what happened that whole day, and we catch up with what's going to happen at the lake, towards the end of the movie. But dude, this movie has some really cool effects. Lots of blood. If you want blood, you got it. To quote AC/DC, this movie is just. I mean, they really had to be using gallons and gallons and gallons and gallons of blood in this movie. It is amazing how gory this movie is. I thought it was a fun time. I mean, to each their own, to Brother Max and my buddy over there in Sweden, and anyone else that just doesn't like it, that's hey, cool. But I enjoyed myself, and that's the important thing. As always, like I said before, check out the guys doing the other stuff. Like, subscribe, share, comment. I always want to know what you have to say. I am the 13th Wolfman. That's right. I'm on the prowl.